Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Gem Live and welcome back to another video. And today we have a very interesting topic. We're going to talk about, can Patrick Mahomes become the GOAT, the all-time greatest football player of all time? And is he already on pace, or is this not achievable? So who do we think of when we think of GOATs? We think of names like Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, John Elway. And these are pretty common. These are all the quarterbacks, obviously, because it's the most important position in football. But what makes these people the same people we talk about all the time? Well, I think it's three things. I think it's a combination between rings, MVPs, and stats. And you really need to have all three, and it's really unfortunate that sometimes it's out of your control because we see quarterbacks that are all-time talents like Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers. Drew with the lack of multiple Super Bowl rings, Drew Brees with no MVPs. He has all the stats in the world, but he's just not in the GOAT debate. He's never going to surpass Brady with Brady's 6 rings. And so what does it take to get all three of these things? Well, I broke it down into 5 things. I have physical talent, which is like accuracy and arm strength. Obviously, like you need that to be a good quarterback in the NFL. Durability. You can be an amazing quarterback, but if you can't stay healthy and be ready for your team, like game in and game out, then you're not going to get all these accolades and you're not going to be the greatest of all time. You need to be smart. You need to have high football IQ. You need to have leadership, a great winning mentality, and you need to be in the right situation with players and coaches. And so I think, honestly, the last one might be the most important. If you think of someone like Joe Montana, an amazing 49ers team with the greatest receiver of all time. You have Tom Brady with Belichick that came in and was winning Super Bowls right away. And so the great coach, the right system, super important. And then you see players like Rodgers, who a coach really never put an amazing offense, never had a top 10 defense besides the one time, and he won the Super Bowl that year. So even though Aaron Rodgers could have multiple Super Bowls if he was like on a better team, it just doesn't work out that way, and that's why a lot of it is situational. So let's talk about what Patrick Mahomes has done the first 2 years as a starter. He was a backup the first year to Alex Smith, but the last 2 years he has been a starter. And the numbers kind of are ridiculous. So he's one of 6 people with Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, Matthew Stafford, Dan Marino, Tom Brady, and Drew Brees to throw over 5,000 yards in a season. And he did that in his first year as a starter. He won the MVP his first year as a starter. He won the Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP his second year as a starter. He has a 24-7 record, but including this year, I think the Chiefs are 5-1. So 29-8 record, 66% completion percentage, 9,400 yards, and a 76-18 touchdown to interception ratio. So keeping all these numbers in mind, it's going to be really helpful to remember those numbers when we go and talk about all 5 of the things that Patrick Mahomes has. And the first one we need to talk about is the physical talent, arm strength, and accuracy. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think we've seen a quarterback with this kind of arm in NFL history. Like, look at any of these throws. These are just his highlights from the last year's season. And, like, he's going to be throwing off his back foot late across. That was off his back foot, throws it on a dime. What a great catch, but he is deadly accurate. He can throw the ball 85 yards. He can throw it on a dot. But he has a lot of touch passes, too. Let's see if we can get one in here. Like, just on a dot in between the corner and safety. He can make any throw. And it's almost bad for a younger generation because you're taught never to throw across your body, off your back foot, late across the middle. And Patrick Mahomes literally... Oh, sorry about that. We had an ad in the video. But Patrick Mahomes has such a great arm that he can make all of those throws. So I hope people are studying Patrick Mahomes in some things he does, but knowing that if you're an eighth grade to high school quarterback, you're not going to be able to make these throws, and it's going to develop a lot of bad habits. But across the middle, he just makes things happen. He's like a magician on the field. So the physical talent, nobody can argue. He's like 6'2", 240, solidly built. And just probably the best arm in NFL history, up there with Dan Marino, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes just might be number 1. Like, he can make every throw. The second one is durable. And last year he had a fluke injury. It was a quarterback sneak up the middle, hurt his knee. He was only out for 2 games, but besides that, no minor injuries, no major injuries, no history of injuries throughout high school or college. So this guy, he knows how to slide, he knows how to not get hit. He has a very good frame to stay healthy. We saw this with Tom Brady. He's all about injury prevention, only had the 1 season-ending injury, but that's it. Been able to play like 19 years with no injury. So he has the physical talent, he has durability, smart, high football IQ. And we're not seeing it this year, we're not watching this year's highlights, but this year I've seen Patrick Mahomes take a huge step forward and not always wanting to extend plays, force things that aren't there. You'll see him be very methodical up the field, just dumping it off to Travis Kelce, a hitch, a swing to the running back, literally anything the defense gives him, and then he can make plays that are crazy, late across the body. The Chiefs just run like a circus. The Chiefs are so much fun to watch, and it's all inspired by Patrick Mahomes. He just gives them so much confidence. But you've seen him a lot just like take the checkdowns, and then once the defense has to press up, they have all these players, which we're going to talk about in a second, to just burn over the top. So I would say Patrick Mahomes has a very smart IQ, and you can tell from he's completing over 2/3 of his passes and 76 to 18 touchdown to interception ratio, accounting for all these crazy throws and all these like risks he's taking. That's unreal. The next one is leadership, winning mentality. And Tom Brady, has 6 Super Bowl rings with 6 game-winning drives. They were all super close. And when you have the ball, when you're watching a Patriots game and Tom Brady has the ball at the end of the game, you almost know they're going to win it. I mean, he did have that thing a few weeks ago where he didn't know it was 4th down. That's kind of a fluke. I don't know. But we saw it last year in the playoffs, them down 24-0 against Houston, and then came back and won. They were down by 10 or 17 to the Titans. They were down 10 in the Super Bowl, and each time Patrick Mahomes was able to rally his team, and you just know when Patrick Mahomes has the ball, you're never out of the game. And so this is huge. We see a lot of teams with losing cultures, like I'd say like the Lions, my team. Every time they're in a situation, you just feel like they're going to lose the game. But every time the Chiefs are down, they could be down 17 in the 4th quarter, and I would still put my money on the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes has created such a winning culture, and he just like rallies his troops for every time they need to get it. And the last one we need to talk about is the right situation. And this includes players, coaches, executives, and I cannot think of a better situation for Patrick Mahomes to get drafted. Andy Reid saw him and he traded up to get him with the 10th overall pick, and he loved him. He loved the gunslinger mentality he saw with Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech, but he didn't rush him to play right away. Alex Smith is a very, very good quarterback. He sat behind him for the year, and Patrick Mahomes himself would tell you he wasn't ready for the NFL yet. He didn't really know how to read defenses. He did a lot of like instinct. He had a lot of bad habits, and so throughout his first year, being able to ride the bench really helped him a lot. And so getting into this Chiefs, Andy Reid is one of the better coaches in NFL history. He's developed so many other good coaches. He's consistently winning. He's always in the playoffs. He got his first ring last year with the Chiefs, which I was super happy for him. But look at all this talent. You can see in this Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, Travis Kelce, the best receiving tight end. They have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They just they just picked up Le'Veon Bell, and this is all executive stuff. They're improving the offensive line. Patrick Mahomes has way more protection. They're showing importance in the defense. In 2018, the Chiefs didn't have the defense, but now they're a more formidable defense, and that's how they're able to win a Super Bowl. And so just everything Patrick Mahomes has, he has all the weapons. He has an offensive-minded coach. He has executives that care to keep him protected and get him a good defense, are willing to pay players. And we see this in Patrick Mahomes' contract. Even though it's the largest contract in NFL history, he did a very, very generous thing and he's like backloading his money. This contract is really confusing, but if I can explain it simply, they took his contract and they can move the money around and kind of pay him later in later years, but that's when the cap is going to go up, so it's not really going to affect them. So that's why they're able to sign all these players like Travis Kelce, D Ford, Chris Jones, Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, maybe re-sign Sammy Watkins. So Patrick Mahomes did a very team-friendly deal, even though, and he didn't take a huge signing bonus, a $10 million signing bonus. That's like what some rookies get, which is insane. So the Chiefs are in a very, very good place, and a lot of their players are young, and they can be very good for a long time. And when you have a good coach, a good exec, the best quarterback in the league, people like veterans are going to want to come. Like, they can get someone like Le'Veon Bell for almost like nothing. And so this is what the Patriots have been able to do for so many years. They know players late in their career that have all their money and don't have a ring yet. They want to come to the Patriots because they know they're in the Super Bowl every other year. So I think the Chiefs are in a very, very, very good position. And so we look at the physical talent, durability, high football IQ, leadership, right situation with players and coaches on an amazing young Chiefs team, and he's only making improvements. He's a grinder. You can already see the leap from last year to this year in his running ability, sliding, check downs, and the Chiefs look really good at sitting at 5-1 right now. And I would say the most impressive game is they played their biggest opponent in the AFC, which is the Ravens, and literally just destroyed them. And so I think that was the first time we saw the Chiefs probably put together like a full game plan, not holding anything back, going all out for their schemes against the Ravens. And you saw what happened. That game was not even close. It didn't even look competitive. And so the overall question, can Patrick Mahomes become the GOAT? I would say I'd be remiss right now to not say he's only on track, but ahead of schedule. And if he can keep up these things, if the Chiefs can keep a good team around him, if he can keep improving, if he can keep winning the big games that he needs to, if he stays healthy, I think Patrick Mahomes is ahead of schedule. And so can he become the GOAT? Absolutely. That is up for grabs. Already having an MVP, a Super Bowl, and a Super Bowl MVP, and already putting up historic numbers, this guy is next level. And I really think when you take a deeper look into it and how deeply based like all his successes and how future forward it's looking, Patrick Mahomes is putting up a very, very good case right now. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know what you guys think. My opinion, Tom Brady's the GOAT right now. If you guys disagree, tell me why. Tell me if you think other people should be included in the GOAT debate, or if there's any sort of metric or variable that you think includes a good GOAT that I left out. And what do you think about Patrick Mahomes becoming the next GOAT? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all next time. Peace.